but for different reasons.
God damn it.
We sound like trash?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're live now, so you can tell us about sounding like trash.
Yeah, tell us about sounding like trash. Okay,
No,
what's up?
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to the sounding like trash.
Wait, do we have a name?
We don't. So that was actually the first segment we were going to talk about.
This is the first segment. That is what we're going to be talking about. Talking about names, naming our podcast.
Yeah.
Well, from codename Cumcast.
Codename. Because as much as I love Cumcast, I don't think it's gonna fit our bill for. Actually, I think it would really fit our bill. Is the problem?
Okay, it's a bit of a. I don't know.
It's a little edgy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's too. I think it's too edgy. I think it's a little too degenerate.
Edgy. Yeah, too
now that we brought it up, though, it has to be Cumcast.
It can't
unless you're gonna cut this section out.
No,
what are you talking about?
It can't.
Our thousands of listeners are probably gonna
riot.
Yeah, Hannah Fauché doesn't count as 1,000 people.
Well,
she's not gonna listen to this.
If she watches it 1,000 times.
Oh my god!
Actually, I pitched the idea to Ariana, and Caleb was there actually.
Really?
He was like trying to sell her on Cumcast, and she's like top 5 for sure, but you can do better.
The thing is, we can do better. I was looking at other podcast names earlier today, trying to get some inspiration. Then I realized I was just stealing ideas, and I was like, okay, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I was talking with Caleb, and I was saying that if he was a full-time, and like he showed up on every show, and we had a 4th person as a guest, we could be the forecast. And I was like, that's kind of like clever, but
forecast.
But he's not going to stay, and we're just the main host, me and you, Tate.
Could one of us just have like a second personality that they whip out every once in a while?
Yeah. Like it's Tate, and he's doing his fucking.
he's doing the bit, the Tate bit.
Right.
Just start fucking making sounds.
Can you be the police officer actually from the performance you were just in?
Holy shit, the police! I guess I go about my beat.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, you know what? We can transition into that. Yeah, me being a performer and oftentimes having to work with people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. So, like, I've recently been in a few shows and performances where I thought I was going into something that was a little bit more of a professional environment, and out of nowhere, you just get hit with like a bomb that is some random motherfucker that just kind of like walked in and they were like, yeah, you're perfect for this.
I have a question. Do you think that if that person wasn't there, it would have been more professional, like, or in these experiences?
So, in my most recent experience back in Oregon, no, I don't think that would be the case. I think that some of the musical numbers would have been a bit cleaner and better sounding. And, maybe there would have been a little bit more realism. With that last project, there was a lot that went wrong. COVID cases, there was, director had to drop out. It was rough. And
the director, wait, like halfway through or how far in?
So it was only a 4-week rehearsal period, right? And after the first week, we go in for our read-through after we've, like, blocked all of the dances. And he's just not there. And we're like, And one of the cast members is dressed all fancy. And we're like, oh, God. And they sit us down there like, so you may have noticed that the director's not here. He actually had to take a leave because, family, something or another. They didn't give us a real answer. They were just like, yeah, something happened with his family, so he had to leave the state. And I was like, no fucking way.
Just full bounce. Actually gone.
He literally gone. So then one of the cast members is asked to step up and direct. So in the first week, we had character discussions and talks about like what we wanted to do with this piece, is people that are pretentious would call it. And he's like, yeah, so what do you see for this character? Then the first rehearsal with the new director, she's like, all right, you're gonna just do this, and I want you to do this exactly. Doesn't give me any room to do anything. And I'm like, all right, fucking all right.
Wait. So you're in 1 week. Week 2, somebody else comes in, steps up from being a performance role.
No, but they also stayed in the cast.
They double dipped.
My
God, were they actually good at their role? You think?
Their role, you know what? They are fine at their characters. Caricatures. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay.
But you know what? I don't know if directing is their forte.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
it's kind of, I feel like an entirely separate skill set you have to develop, but
I feel like so commonly you can find people that can do both, but
Mhm.
it's not for everyone. It's
Hey,
really
do you
not.
think that it would have gone better if you had directed?
Oh yeah.
Fuck no.
No,
Jeez.
why?
My brother in Christ. I have no artistic vision when it comes to other people.
Interesting.
Damn. Yeah, how do you so with everything in mind that had happened, do you think the performance turned out okay, or was it pretty lousy?
I think that the performance was okay. I mean, it wasn't as good as my standard is much higher than that at this point in my life.
Okay.
So that was upsetting for me, but I think that it was, average for that company that I was working with.
And then I gotta ask, Caleb, you went and watched, right?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
How was the viewer experience?
It was entertaining in the sense of seeing everything that was going wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Yes,
god.
yes.
Um, thoroughly enjoyed that. And there were some good things going on, don't get me wrong. There was one cast member that I absolutely loved
Stole the
because
show.
stole the show. Because they were terrible.
Oh my, was it the police
Absolutely
officer?
awful. Huh?
Was it the police officer?
Yeah, I don't want to bring
don't-
anybody into this just in case they're listening.
Okay.
But it was something else, let me tell you.
So is this like something you watch, kind of like The Room, like, and not like the mockumentary of it recently, but like the actual original Room?
Yes, it's kind of like the idea that you watch something that's so bad you can enjoy it.
Yeah, you just like, oh my god, you're cringing the whole way through.
Yes, you just it's like a student written project. There are some good points, but man, the bad points you just have to enjoy for their own bits.
Oh my god, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to go watch
Damien,
it.
you really did miss out. There were some good things going on.
Like,
Don't
what?
get me
Give me
wrong.
some highlights for like the moments that were like pretty good, actually.
There were these two guys that Tate was telling me that they were. Where were they from, Tate?
They were from Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, they were incredibly entertaining, and then Tate was incredible as well, and that's about it.
Love to hear.
Right, I know, Tate. You were telling me about these two guys from Portland. They had like never met before, but then
they were hilarious.
Yeah, they had just
Yeah,
like
they
come
just-
together and had a moment, like a connection.
Yeah. No, yeah, and they didn't know it. Yeah, that was the funniest thing. They came in and they didn't know anyone. No one knew them because a lot of the people at that theater company, they're like regulars. They're like, oh, we do shows here, kind of like how that usually happens, where they get in the thing of it, whatever. But these two dudes, no one's ever met them before. They're a little bit bigger, they're a bit older, and they just walk in. They're fine. Everyone's just chatting, but something sparks between them. Instantly, they are on a first name basis. They're like chatting about their lives outside of rehearsal. They're like, yeah, let's go get drinks and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? What is happening?
Have you had an experience like that yourself? Like where you meet somebody and they're just like instant connection and you're like goofing off, having a good time?
Yes. I mean, I met Caleb through doing performing arts, which was
how did I not
that's
know that? I thought you met through
Did
Dutch
you
Bros.
not know that? No, we met. I got my
Dutch
job
Bros?
through Caleb.
Oh my god! Wait, I did too. Did you interview in the bathroom as well?
I interviewed in the bathroom.
Oh my god! Wait, so
Interviews in
Caleb,
the bathroom hit different.
what?
No, they really do.
What
The
performance did you two
bathroom-
meet during?
Yeah, Caleb, you wanna get tell on this story?
Yeah, we did Bye Bye Birdie.
Bye
I
Birdie.
want to say it was like 2016. Does that sound about right, Tate?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And
Holy shit,
we
6
both-
years ago? Damn.
it had to have been, yeah. And we both auditioned for the same role, Harvey Johnson, and Tate got it over me. I was pissed.
Oh my
The
god!
thing is, that role had 0 lines and like 2 little solo bits in the opening number that were just him getting rejected. And I feel like that really spoke to both of us as a character.
Getting rejected
Honestly-
and not having lines. Oh my god!
The thing is like I'm incredible at getting rejected and not having any lines, so I was kind of surprised that they didn't give me the role. I was pissed.
Oh my. Wait, had you done performances prior, Caleb?
No, never.
So that was your first one?
No, that's not true. That's not true. I did do something called the Reluctant Dragon.
This motherfucker was in the Scandinavian festivals like play they do that everyone talks through.
Oh my god.
And you could say I hard carried. I was a tree at one point.
Let's fucking go. Hard carry.
You know, they're practicing for that right now, actually.
You're kidding me.
I'm closing at Dutch Bros the other day, and like every 10 minutes, a group of like 3 like middle school girls come to the stand. They're like, "Hey, can I get like 10 waters?" Like, what the hell? All right. And then eventually I finally am just like, okay, like what's going on? I ask somebody like, why are we getting so many waters? And they're like, oh, we're all practicing for the Scandinavian festival. And I was like, my fucking god. So they just come over, get like 10 ice waters, give them a carrier, and then they come back in like 20 minutes and do it again.
Insane.
You know,
We'd love to hear it.
I mean, technically, you're supposed to only do one per person that walks up, right?
Really?
I did not know. I just assumed ice waters were like basically free entirely.
No, you can't get unlimited.
That's
Damn.
true. I guess if somebody ordered like 20 or 30 ice waters, I'd definitely be like, what the hell? Like, no way I can.
And it's because of that guy that used to go through Junction City where we all worked. He had like the mustache. And
Was it
he
the guy who
like
got the
hella
like
weird.
blended ice?
No. That guy sucked though. Let me tell you.
He came through recently and tried to get a blended ice, and I was like, sorry, I can't do that
blended
anymore.
Ice.
Like, I can't, man. I'm so sorry.
Gotta be.
Don't mess up the blender.
He's probably pissed. Did you tell him to get his own blender?
No, I didn't. Oh, he got like a mocha freeze too to go with it. So
insane.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my god! Wait, when are they transferring you back to Junction City Dutch Bros?
I've been trying to trade with Jake Vaughn, but he keeps saying no.
Can you trade? Actually, is that a real thing?
No, I wish it was.
Oh my god!
Yo, brother, let's trade jobs. Let's trade locations.
You know, what if it just works out better for everybody? You know, like
you know how disrespectful that would be to each crew if I was just like, no, they're trash.
That's funny as fuck. I love the idea that you could just be like, hey, let's just swap, see if anyone notices, and like add a company, and then people just kind of roll with it. Because honestly, working in that space, if someone new was there and was like, hey, I'm your boss, I'd be like, all right.
That's actually kind of how it goes usually, right? Like John Cerna leaves and fucking Jake Motlow comes in and he's like, hey, so I'm in charge. I know none of you have ever met me.
I'm going to transition this into my time working at Starbucks, because that was short-lived, maybe 3 months total. I went in there and, I was like, oh, I hope I get this job, because it was in walking distance of my apartment, and, I needed a way to make money through the summer. And, it went fine, but I walk in, they give me my little interview in their cafe right next to everyone working and the people walking in, and it's the one table that's next to the bathrooms, and I'm like, all right,
it has to be because oh my god, go on.
No, but I mean, honestly, if they would have brought me into the bathroom, that would have been a whole other experience. But yeah, we're sitting there, they're asking me like the base questions, and they're like, so why do you want this job? And I was like, I want to make money. And they were like, that's a good reason. But, they go through their general questions, and they're like, I will say that you should know before you take a job here that if you're hired as a barista, that doesn't mean you're just making coffee. You're also going to be cleaning, which is a surprise to a lot of the people we hire. And I was like, what the hell do you mean that's a surprise? They're the only people that work here. Who's going to clean?
Yeah, maybe they expect, because it's like a big company, that like they just hire like janitorial staff. They get in there and they're like, all right, don't forget to restock the toilet paper. And they're like, what the fuck? That was in the job description?
No.
I like the thought of somebody making a drink, like using a spoon and a mix tin, you know what I mean? And then there's just some random dude who follows up behind them and just rinses it out for them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I need to start hiring people to do that, honestly.
How would you describe your Starbucks hiring process compared to the Dutch Bros one? Because I recently re got hired at Dutch Bros, and so did you, obviously.
Yeah.
So like, give me some contrast there.
Very different. I mean, for my Starbucks hiring, well, I'll say this back to that past story, because I was gonna transition. The manager that hired me quit the day after she hired me. She hired me, and then I never saw her again. I never saw. I heard about her. People were like, "Oh yeah, we miss whatever her name is." She had a piss kink, and I was like, "Whoa! It is my second day working here, and you are telling me way more than I need to know."
So honestly, not that different from working in Dutch.
Honestly,
I mean, surprisingly, I worked with younger people that were in managerial positions at Starbucks than at Dutch Bros. Because I mean, you go to get hired there, and it's one old dude, and he's like, "What's up?" And everyone else is, a teenager, and you're like, "What's going on?"
At
And then
Starbucks, you mean, or at Dutch?
No, at Dutch Bros. And then at Starbucks, everyone's in their 20s, maybe someone in their 30s, and they all don't want to be there. There's not one person that enjoys working there.
Oh my god!
what do you mean one old dude at Dutch Bros and then a bunch of teenagers? Are you talking about the big boss, or are you talking about Jake?
Yeah,
no, I wasn't.
How
that
far
is funny
up are we
though.
going?
I mean, no, I was talking about the big guy.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no. Anyways, I never saw that manager again. And then a week later, they've had my 1 day of training, and then it's me and 2 other people working for 9 hours because everyone calls in all the time. We get our new manager, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just here to cover though until you get your official manager." I saw her twice, then told her I was leaving, and she tried to get me to stay, and then she quit. And the turnover there was insane. I worked with different people every other week.
That's not. I go to the Starbucks here, and I see like the same faces every day. Maybe it's that one is like notoriously dog shit or something.
It is pretty dog shit, I will say that. But also I worked there and I got into the same like headspace as everyone else. So like people would come through and they're like, "Hey, do you have the location based mugs?" And I say, "Nope, but we've got some that accidentally got sent here that are for Hawaii." And they go, "What the hell?" I just leave,
Yeah, okay. That's, I don't know. It feels like companies like that are like, I worked in a similar situation where I worked at like an AutoZone for a while, and it is so in the gutter. You know what I mean? Like when a company's like that, it's like that location's fucked. Like everything's got to be changed, the whole staff. Cause like, I was in a similar position where the turnover was nuts. Everyone came in, everyone was out. Like, and then I got there and I tried to be, I mean, I'm not like superstar like employee or anything like that, but like I'm trying to do my best, and you just get beaten down. You're like, fuck this absolutely
no, honestly
sucks.
Like every single day when I would get back, I'd be like, that's not it.
Caleb, have you had a shit job?
Oh yeah, I worked at Abby's Legendary Pizza. Holy crap!
What was that like for you?
It was terrible. Every single manager there wanted to kill themselves, and I never tried a day in my life working there. I like genuinely thinking about it. There was not a second that I tried to do my job correctly.
Just taking shortcuts left and right, or what?
Oh, 100%, 100%. I'd be washing those dishes. I just throw them in. I don't even rinse them off or anything. They got caked with freaking cheese and stuff. If I went back there, I'd do it exactly the same way. I did not care about that job. Trash.
That's fun.
And there was a bunch of old people who would come in and just be absolute assholes to everybody.
Let's talk about old people for a second.
Old people?
I've recently, for some reason, had to have a lot of conversations with old people, especially, being in the performing arts, because it's like there's always going to need to be like one old dude on stage just because, there's the grandpa role or something. Mm-hmm. And so often they're from another time. They don't understand like the general like society at this point. But every once in a while, you'll meet one that's just like a G, and they're like, "Yeah, what's up?" And you're like, "What's going on? You're like 65, but you seem like we could like hang out." Have you ever had that experience?
I can say that I have. So there's like a customer that comes through Dutch Bros actually, and he drives like this convertible. It's a Mazda Miata, like my brother's car basically.
A Miata.
Yeah, and he is such a fucking legend. This dude comes through. He likes to talk about cars. He likes to hang out. Like he's like seriously like the nicest guy ever, and he's like not that disconnected. He doesn't like come through and tell me that TV's turning the frogs gay or like something that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I had an experience like that when I was working not the good experience, the bad one. I was working at the Starbucks where like old people would come through. There's this one nice old dude. I'll say that. He was cool. He always got the same exact thing. He only got food, and I was like, what the hell? But it's Utah, so I mean people don't drink coffee. But then there were so many that would come through and they'd be like, you hear what whatever the president was at the time said, like traffic, why is there so much roads? And I'm like, there's just other things you could be talking about. You could
Yeah.
ask me, hey, employee, why is it that your name tag has tears dripping down the side, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's when they ask about politics or they ask about like COVID or like they make like a your mask thing, like they want to talk about it. I'm just so instantly like out of it. My headspace is just gone. I'm just like, come on, like you cannot just walk up to me. First thing you say is, what was it? The other day, a customer came through and they called it a pandemic. Like that's the first words they said. They see me wearing a mask. They're like, it's a pandemic. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking
Damn, that's
kidding
crazy.
me? Yeah,
that's
I'm
crazy.
just like,
Now take your mocha and leave.
Yeah, but I actually want to ask something about that, which is like, as kind of we're getting older and we're all like in our 20s now, do you feel disconnected from young people? Either of you?
Caleb, how about you go first here?
Uh, I have never even thought about that before. I think hopefully, I think there's a big gap in like maturity wise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At least I feel that way. I don't know how it looks from the outside looking in, but I don't know. In terms of like, is that what you mean? Like in terms of
Yeah, so I'm referring to like, I guess I can start with myself to talk about
Sure.
I'm referring to here, which is like, I just turned 23, obviously, and like my brother's 20, and I can kind of connect with him, but then like anything below him, I'm like kind of just fucking Dunzo Manifesto. You know what I mean? I'm like when I hear people like say like you don't want the smoke, I'm like, what the fuck is the smoke? You know what I mean?
No,
Like I'm getting
you
like,
say
am
that,
I?
and I
gotta
don't
be
understand.
kidding.
Am I getting old? Like what is? How am I not in on the shit post anymore? I still like the Megamind meme.
I know when you sent me the Megamind meme, I was like, damn, we lost another.
We lost another one.
No,
Like,
I will say I'm still 19, but I've had an experience like that where my younger brother, he's in whatever, he's going to his junior year of high school, so he's pretty relevant in the meme like area. And I said like Pogchamp, and he was like, they don't say that anymore. And I was like, what do you
what?
mean? What do you mean they don't say that anymore? We've been saying that since I was on the internet.
Since 2012 we've been saying
shit.
Pogchamp.
Oh God, like I logged on to twitch.tv and then I immediately it like went into my brain that Pogchamp was the new thing that I say when I don't understand what the conversation is going. I go,
Holy
"Oh, that's
crap.
Pog."
It's the
And
filler
then-
word. It's our filler word.
Exactly. You'll have a speech like class and then they'll say, try to avoid words like and like while you're trying to think of what to say because it, makes you sound less educated.
Mhm.
So I go, okay, that's Pog. And then this motherfucker comes out and says, that's not okay anymore. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Kids
Yeah.
these days just don't understand, Tate.
I don't understand.
They just don't get it.
Wait, Caleb, so do you have that feeling too? Like, are you ever like what the fuck are these kids doing? Like any kind of moment like that. Like even it could be speech, could be memes. Like, is there anything in like
I wouldn't say necessarily. I haven't come across that. I mean, sometimes they're dumb as hell, but I think that's the way it is with everybody. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they're dumb as
That's
hell. Can you
true.
give us an example of kids being dumb as hell?
Shoot, I don't even know. Off the top of my head, no. You put me on the spot. Can't think of. They just always be dumb as hell, Tate.
True.
I mean, yeah, they're kids, so they're gonna be like dumb as hell. Like
That's
I don't think they're any like dumber or anything now. Like that's not what I'm saying. I just mean I'm beginning to feel disconnected from like the dumb shit they're doing. You know what I mean? Like it used to be
I get
funny
you.
to me, and now I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? Like how is Mr. P so goddamn big?
You know what? I am only 21, so maybe I got a couple years to go before I start feeling that way.
Yeah, 23 is
Maybe.
the disconnect year.
Are-
As soon as you
Yeah,
hit 23, you're like, what the hell is a meme?
Are either of you Mr. Beast enjoyers?
You know what? I will try to enjoy Mr. Beast. I like the things he does.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of his content though. Like I like the way that he does. I like his content, but I don't like the way that he makes it. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like I think that the way that he gets so many people together to do such big things is so cool. But then he starts the video by being like, "I got 4 million cats into this home," and it's like, you know, I can't get invested in this anymore.
You know, Bob? Yeah, you lost me. I don't really watch it, and that's kind of like maybe where I'm at because I'm like 2 years older than Caleb and 4 years older than you, Tate. You're 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'm just a little ahead of the game here, but like I don't know. I'll walk out and like I'll see my cousin watching like random stuff. It's always Mr. Beast or like that kind of stuff, and like I don't have any problem with it. I should like clarify, you know, like I just it's not my like the media I watch. You know, I remember watching PewDiePie, and I feel like that was my Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? Which was like, hey, what's up or whatever. He's like, hey, bros, it's PewDiePie. You know, like I'm sure in hindsight, like that was cringe as hell. You know what I mean?
No,
But, like,
the thing is, you doing that right now is even more cringe than you could like even imagine.
oh yeah. But you get the idea. So I don't think they're any like dumber than I was when I was like a kid. I just mean I feel like I've reached that point where I'm like, okay, this is like different and like not something I engage in really. You know what I mean?
Nice.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of that was my point. But
You know, even though I don't watch a lot of Mr. Beast videos, I will say that man is insane. He's already at 100 million subscribers. It's been like what 5 years that he's been doing this like with like an audience, and it's just insane how fast he grew.
yeah,
Okay, maybe I do watch a lot of Mr. Beast. Now that I'm scrolling through his channel, I'm like, oh, I've watched Mr. Beast.
Oh my god. Okay, so there it is. That's
Classic Tate.
I can't say if I clicked on it, it would probably show me any of the videos that I've seen. So
Insane.
I've never watched any on YouTube, but
Mhm.
I've seen some snippets from TikTok.
Do you guys ever find yourself? I guess this is more for Caleb because I don't think Damien's on TikTok these days.
Mm-mm.
But do you ever find yourself just scrolling through the For You page and then you land on one of those videos that's like, oh, part 1, and then you go to the account, and you're like, oh, well, I got interested in this episode of House or whatever, and you end up like spending 40 minutes on that page, and you're like, what the hell is going on? I could just watch it on Netflix.
I don't know about 40 minutes, but I definitely have like people will put like clips of stuff. Like recently for me, it's been like New Girl. People will put clips and I'm just like watching it. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I could literally watch this episode.
No,
sitting right
but
next
like
to the
something
TV.
about it being right in front of me in that moment, I'm like, I gotta see it through.
Yeah, it's got you
100%.
hooked.
Yeah, it's got me hooked. It'll be the weirdest things, like The Sandlot, and I'm like, oh, what a good movie. And I'll watch like half the movie and be like, I have a problem.
Well, you watch
I've
half the
never
movie
been
on
that down
TikTok?
bad.
Yes, through like part 1. I'll get to like part 70, and then I'll be like, I gotta stop, man.
Huh. I wonder if there's something to that, like why it's so like addicting in that moment to just watch little snippets one by one rather than just putting the movie on. Do you think maybe it's too big of a commitment to put the movie on? You're like, fuck, then I gotta watch
for
the whole
TikTok's
movie.
whole thing, it's you can only have a video up to like 3 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the way that people do it, but I really don't know.
Can you watch all of Morbius on TikTok yet?
Okay, I don't know about
You
that,
have to be
but I
able
will
to.
say that when the Spider-Man No Way Home, was that the most recent one? When that one came out, I went and saw it in theaters, like opening night. It was great, whatever. But then whenever I scrolled through TikTok, there would be like 5 pages live streaming the movie in the theater. And I was like,
my god.
how do so many people do this like so regularly?
I know, that's wild. Wait, can we backpedal real quick though?
Yeah.
To
let's talk.
Morbius.
To
To
Morbius.
backpedal
I
to
don't know if
Morbius.
we got an opportunity to talk about Morbius.
We
the three of
didn't.
us.
We
We did not.
We didn't get to talk about Jared Leto at all. Yeah.
No, I have a lot of thoughts on him.
What are your initial Oh, Caleb, go ahead.
Yeah, Caleb, you go ahead.
Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah, lead us
Hey.
off. Did you
Oh,
watch
okay,
Morbius?
Hey. Of course I've seen Morbius. I saw it in theaters.
You watch
The
so
second
that's why
time
you
or the
didn't wanna
first
watch
time?
it with us.
That's why I saw it once. I did not want to see it a second time. That's why I did not watch it with you guys.
Oh my god.
That movie was terrible.
What are you talking?
Okay,
That
that's take is
Sorry.
really bad. Let's start there.
That's a bad-
Let me back it up. There was not enough Morbius in the movie. That's all I gotta say.
But was there enough I poop my pants, I have sex in the movie?
Yeah, I will say that there was just enough poop my pants has sex for me to enjoy that scene.
Holy crap! There was, you know what? I would say there was enough. Nothing more, nothing less for me.
Okay.
I really think
Personally.
that one scene was enough to just make most people's jaw drop. Like, because, it's not a great movie, but up until that point, there's some plot, you're following along. You're like, oh, this is exactly what's going to happen, because that's what happened with Damion and me. We just kept calling everything out, and then it would happen. But I don't think anyone in their right mind could have been like, yeah, Matt Smith's going to start doing a little sexy dance for himself.
With the boot my pants, I have sex.
My pants have sex.
There's no way anyone would have figured that out.
Yeah.
Okay, what did we think of Matt Smith's little dance?
So I think I'll talk about Matt Smith for a second here. Actually, the dance, weird as hell that happened. That was obviously the director was like, yeah, we wanted to have that like Marvel sense, like, oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? That kind of deal. But I think Matt Smith did a pretty good job at that movie, but the script was just so bad that
I think Matt Smith was the only one who did a good job in that movie, in my
Really?
personal opinion. With what they were given, he was
with
easily the most entertaining
star
part.
like
Was this
Jared Leto.
the Anakin moment? What we're talking about here? He's actually great in a bad movie.
Anakin
In a
moment.
bad movie.
Hold up.
Great
Have we
acting in a
talked about
bad
that
movie?
before?
No, we haven't talked. I don't think we've talked about the whole Anakin thing yet.
Like,
but we
Okay,
should do
wait.
that.
We should talk about that because I have strong
yeah.
feelings.
No, being, our age, I was raised with both the prequels and the original trilogy, and I always thought Anakin was great. And then I grew up to find out that most of like the population that watched the movies, the prequels when they first came out, were like, "Oh, this Hayden Christensen guy sucks."
Here's my thoughts on that. I think Hayden Christensen was unintentionally perfect as Anakin Skywalker, because Anakin's supposed to be like this teen, just like loser essentially. I feel like who has all these powers, you know what I mean, and he's horny. And I think he embodied that perfectly.
He embodied horny teen perfectly.
Yes.
I think from what I understand, and I'm not a big film watcher or Star Wars fan myself, but I think a lot of people's gripe is like some of the scenes are so like jarring to watch because it's just like it feels really uncomfortable to watch. You're like, this is choppy or weird, or like the script is really bad. Like,
that's the point. That's the point, Damion. He's awkward as hell.
Yeah,
he's sand.
He hates sand.
He hates sand. I don't know. I've seen some of the clips where they play like the highlights of the worst, lines or whatever delivered, and they're just so uncomfortable, And I don't know. I don't think he's good or bad necessarily. Like, I don't even know his acting off the top of my head. Like, these scenes and inside jokes.
I've only seen him in the Star Wars movies and maybe like one other movie. But I mean, I'm a big fan. I mean, he's attractive, so I'll give him that.
Okay.
He is a good-looking man. That's on God.
Yeah, you can't take that from. I just don't. I'm trying to say like from the you're talking about from your perspectives, it was really good, but then you find out like, oh, everybody else really hated it. I think from their perspectives, they're just like, what the fuck? This is so. It's like uncomfortable would be the word I use to watch.
I also think that a lot of people that like were older and grew up with the original trilogy were like, how is this like little bitch boy supposed to become a space Nazi? It's like, well, I mean, you're right. It's a little weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Caleb, big believer in that. It was great.
Big believer.
It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Unintentionally.
The writing was not the best, but it was unintentionally like. It was bad, but with how bad it was, it made it good. Because I think that's what they should have been going for.
Yeah, I think maybe part of it too is like those were like not as popular. Those movies, they were like generally just not liked as much,
Yeah.
So that probably didn't do him any favors that he was in the movies that were just like, not popular.
Yeah. I've got a question for you guys. Do you? I guess it's more of a statement about myself than a question for you. I really easily have my opinion swayed on things. Like, do you guys resonate with that at all? Like, this is to do with Star Wars because I, really didn't like the sequel trilogy. And then, because it was like kind of mid. And at first I was like, yeah, what was the seventh one? The Force Awakens or something like that. I was like, yeah, it was pretty good. And as soon as someone pointed out that what was it? The Last Jedi, that episode 8 was good. It just was like hard for Star Wars fans to enjoy. I was like, yeah, that's right. Even though I was a diehard fan of saying that was the worst movie, as soon as someone pointed that out to me that it was a good movie, it's just hard for Star Wars fans to enjoy. I was like, yeah, you're right. That was the best one. Like, I'm so easily swayed, it's to a fault.
I will say no. I don't really like I'm open to having my ideas changed in most sections like of my life, but there's like it's kind of tougher to do. Like it's an uphill battle convincing me of something, especially if I already have an opinion. Like I guess one thing is like Game of Thrones comes to mind too, where the ending was like really, really terrible, notoriously bad, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like some people tried to like, okay, guys, come on, it's gonna get good. We've still got 2 more episodes. You know what I mean? Like I would see this like on Reddit and stuff, and I'm just like, I've already like checked out. I've tapped out. The show is garbage. It's washed, and like, I think probably most people thought it was already bad at that point, anyways. But like, I kind of already had my feelings on that show. I'm just trying to use a film example or like TV because we're already here in this. But I'm trying to. I'll try and think of another example. Caleb, go ahead. I want your thoughts on this.
Yeah, Caleb, are you easily swayed?
I'm in the same boat as Tate. Honestly, I'll be watching like a TikTok and they'll be like, "This was actually incredible." I'm like, "It was." You know what I mean?
Incredible.
That immediately changes my mind.
Okay. Well, did your mind really change then? Is my question.
Because here's the thing. I think if I wait like an hour or so, as long as nobody's constantly reinforcing it to me that other opinion is correct, I'll probably go back to my original opinion.
Okay, that's not what I meant, but that's interesting. I thought like what I initially meant when I asked that question was like, wasn't that your opinion to begin with, really? Like with Tate's example, he said like, oh, he watched the Star Wars, watches a TikTok real quick, and it's like, why episode 8 was actually good. And then he's like, yeah, it was actually really good. Like, don't you just think maybe you thought episode 8 was good to begin with? You know?
The thing is, I don't know anymore. Because I've like thought about this a lot recently because I'm like, maybe I need to have like a higher standard for my own opinion on things.
Well, Tate, if somebody like gave you a decent reason as to why it was actually terrible movie, would that sway your opinion?
Yes, but I'm gonna be 100% real. If there were 2 people that were let's just use the Star Wars as an example. If there were 2 people that equally had reasons why that movie was good or bad, I don't know which side I would go for anymore. I wouldn't even take my own opinion into account. I would just be like, well, I mean, you guys are both right. I don't know anymore. We should probably just watch Batman or something.
Yeah, you'd be kind of too lost in the sauce. Caleb, would you, if there was this hypothetical, you got 2 homies, and one's like, damn it's shit, and one's like, damn it was great. Where are you at? You picking a side? Or?
I would probably end up picking a side, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I got some stuff to work on.
I think Tate, I probably wouldn't pick particularly because this example I'm not very invested in. But I think if there was one where I was like invested in, I would also pick a side. Like when I'm playing like League of Legends and like my friends are like, "Oh, this thing is shit," and the other one's like, "No, it's good." I usually will be like, "No, it's shit." You know, like I'll say, like
I've been playing a decent amount of League of Legends recently since I have a lot of my like online friends. They're like, "Yeah, that's what we do. We play League of Legends and we like talk shit about each other and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? Whatever. I'll do it for the interaction with people online." And I hate that game. I am so bad at it. I've been playing for like 7 years and I still don't understand how to make like a good like item build.
Yeah, it's a really hard game. I think the fundamentals you don't learn. The game doesn't teach you the fundamentals, so like you kind of have to go out of your way to learn like how itemization works, how runes work.
And you have to understand how to play against every other champion. Well, I mean, like 5 champions in realism, because it's like there's a few champions that are good, and then everyone else is like, oh, you know, for shits, I'll play Urgot, you know, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, no, I think like it's there's a lot. There's a steep learning curve, but I don't. Caleb, you haven't played League of Legends at all, have you? Right?
No, I know absolutely nothing about it. To be honest,
well, I mean, then we're on the same fucking footing. I would play with
beat Tate at this point.
No, you probably could. Have you guys seen that clip of Tyler One talking shit about Ludwig?
Yeah, I have. He's like, he's insane. A fucking bot. He's less than a bot. Like,
yeah, no, he went off. So, Caleb, there's this Twitch streamer. He's like a pro player at League of Legends. He's insane. And they did a charity event where they played with guys that don't really play League of Legends. It was like XQC and Ninja or something like that. I don't know. And they after that stream, the Tyler one of the creators, he went on a like tirade, just talking shit about how his teammate was the worst player. He's worse than the bots. I would never play with him again, and like publicly. And all I can think about that is like, damn, he just like me for real. I cannot play that game and do it justice. I will play with my buddy who's like on the esports team and everything. He's like knows what he's doing. He's like a good guy. He won't like freak out too much, but.
Too much?
Well, I mean, you queue up for a ranked game and you go like 2-8, and he's like, "Come on, dude." I'm like, "I'm trying here. I don't understand why Kled Jungle's not working for the third time in a row."
So funny.
Hate to see it.
Have you considered getting coaching?
The thing is, he does coach, but I'm like, I'm not about to pay someone to teach me how to play a video game that I don't even enjoy.
You want me to coach you?
This is maybe. I might need it because the amount of money and time I put into this game well exceeds the enjoyment I've gotten.
How many hours have you put in this game, Tate?
I mean, I've been playing since 2015, so probably at least 1,000.
Holy crap!
I think I've been playing since like season 2, and I'm definitely over 1,000 hours on my main account. Probably some change.
That is something I can be proud of. Is I do not have 2 accounts. I have noticed that it is very common to have multiple accounts while playing this game.
It's because sometimes you don't want to like ruin your friend's experience. Like I don't know. I don't think any other game is like this where you actually ruin your friend's experience by playing on your main because it changes the quality of the lobby. Like if you queue up for a game of Call of Duty and you're like invite all your boys, you're not like getting fucking like challenger Call of Duty lobbies or whatever because you're pretty good, or at least not back in the day.
Exactly. No, with the new like esports getting so big, there's more and more games that try to go that direction are becoming that way where it's like if I'm too good at this game and I want to play it with a friend who's never played before, the matchmaking is going to be insane because it'll bring in their like 0 experience and I've been playing like 4 hours a day into the same thing, and it will just be a hard game like because I have to carry, and they are going to just get their ass handed to them, which is just not fun for anyone.
Yeah. Caleb, are you playing any games with these kind of systems?
I don't think so.
What are you playing these days?
Video games. I hop on Halo Infinite every once in a while.
Okay. How are you ranking pretty well in that or what?
I was pushing I just gotten out of gold, which is I think platinum after that. Platinum 1 or something like that, which is decent. There's 2 more levels above that. Yeah. But like the lowest level is bronze and silver, then gold, then platinum.
Okay, so you're kind of like on that middle rank area, but you're playing more casually right now.
Yeah. I don't play that
Fortnite?
Much. No, I don't play Fortnite anymore.
Is that a dead game or?
No, can we talk about Fortnite? Okay, so I didn't have like anything that could run it. I know it can run on a phone and it can run on like a Nintendo Switch, but I play on the computer. I'm ass at games that are multiplayer on anything else. I couldn't play that. I just got a new computer setup, which I've been loving, right? But I couldn't play that game when everyone was playing it. And now I'm like, oh, let's play Fortnite. And no one wants to play. And I'm like, how could you not? John Cena just got added. Every other week, they go above and beyond. They add something new. Like the fact that you can have a team that is like Captain America, John Cena, Rick from Rick and Morty,
Sasuke,
and Sasuke Uchiha. I think that is insane.
I think it's funny as hell.
T-pose? What the hell?
Isn't there like a Smash game or like something similar to Smash where you can play as like Shaggy and like?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that Multiverses. It just opened its open beta. I've been playing it.
Is it good?
Insane. It's so good, and for no reason.
I walk in on my brother. He's playing Bugs Bunny, dude. He's kicking ass as Bugs Bunny.
Tom plays Bugs Bunny.
He does, yeah. I
wanted to transition the whole matchmaking, the MMR thing, into this because since it's an open beta, they don't have their ranked system out yet. And it's mostly focused on like team games, which is fun, but it's like, oh, I have to find someone to play with all the time. So it's like I'll message my buddy Carson and be like, hey, do you want to play? And he's like, well, I can play at whatever 6 p.m. my time. And I'm like, well, I have plans then, so I guess fuck me. but there's no matchmaking yet. So every single person I play against is either the worst player I've ever played, or they're playing LeBron and throwing the basketball off every wall and killing me in like 3
Why
seconds.
the fuck is there a game with Shaggy, LeBron, Bugs Bunny?
No, I matched into a game of
Wait,
Superman versus LeBron James, and then I just exited the lobby. I was like, I can't take this right now.
is this like the Warner Brothers?
Yeah, the Warner Brothers platform fighter. It is
Okay,
actually really good.
I might have to. What console is it on?
It's on everything except like Switch, I think. PlayStation.
I'm gonna have
Xbox.
to get in on that because I saw the trailer for that. It looks incredible.
No, yeah. When it
Wait.
first got announced, I was like, "This is going to be ass."
Were both of you Smash players or like casual?
Oh,
or like,
yeah.
I have been a long time Smash. I really wanted to play more competitively when I was younger, but I mean, we didn't really have that here us in Oregon. So like I played online a lot in like Smash 4 and Ultimate, and I did that a lot. I got pretty high up there. Never like competitive level. When I played Melee, it was like not fun for my friends. Once I mastered like wave dashing, crouch canceling, all that,
Yeah, you got good enough that like playing with casuals was like unfair.
No, yeah, I got
basically.
good enough to the point where I wouldn't try, but I would still make it not fun for other people. So I was like, oh, and I just stopped. But now that I'm playing this, and it's like different enough that I have to relearn things, but it's similar enough that I'm like consistently winning like a lot. I'm like, this is kind of all right.
Caleb, were you a Smash player?
Oh yeah, I love Smash Bros.
What'd you play?
Nowhere near as good as Tate. Nowhere
Oh.
near, and we've played together many a times.
Yes, we have.
I probably won twice out of like 100 times. I would say
98% win rate.
that's the average, anyways. We've played more games than that, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But I enjoy it thoroughly. You know what I mean?
You're right. It's a
good
fun game, even though you get your ass kicked by Tate. Like those can be separate things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I also something I wanted to make sure we talked about is using BeReal because we're all on it.
We're all on.
And like, how the fuck did we end up on this app? I'm curious how everyone got it and how it's been and what they think of it because like I had such a weird like onboarding.
Do you want to start us off with your BeReal process?
Yeah, I was at the warehouse and Caleb probably was there, but I did not introduce Tate to his new coworkers because I was his connection to them. So let's start there. I forced Tate into an awkward situation.
We walk into the big meeting. This is my first time meeting everyone, and Damion just doesn't say anything. He does that, and then he starts talking to someone, and I'm just standing there, and I'm like,
I mean, what the hell?
He just fucking has to raw dog go, and he's like, "Hi, everybody. I'm Tate, by the way." I don't.
Damion, that's disrespectful.
I am so bad at introducing people. I just let it happen organically. That's what I say.
It was like the least organic way of introducing someone ever. I was like, hey, I actually work with you now. And it was right after I introduced you to your favorite song. I'm gonna shit my pants.
That's true. Do you remember my birthday, Caleb, at the beginning when I was trying to like introduce everybody? Or were you not there for that portion of it?
I don't know if I was there. I showed up like an hour and a half after it started.
Okay, well, basically somebody would show up and I'd introduce them to the crowd and then the crowd to them one by one. And I realized like, okay, this isn't going to work. I can't keep introducing this person to every person. So I just started letting people walk into the party and just fucking, you know what I mean? And that's me. I'm so bad at introducing. Like, I really shouldn't try. But
I don't remember how you introduced me. Honestly, you probably didn't.
I think you showed up late enough that I just said fuck it, and there was too many people to try and introduce you to, Mm-hmm. But my point was, I let Tate have probably one of the most awkward moments of his Dutch Bros careers, and then one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, do you have BeReal?" And I was like, "No, I don't really use too much social media, anyways." And she's like, "Download the app now." And this was Emily actually. And she was like, download the app. And I was like, I really don't want to. And then Tate had the app and she added him on it. And I was like, Tate, you got the app? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, damn it. So I download BeReal. And I'll wait to give my thoughts on it. But Tate, how did you end up getting BeReal?
Yeah, so I don't really remember. Because a lot of my friends, I have this one friend that's in the musical theater major with me. And he oftentimes will like be just on some weird app and I'll be like, oh, what's going on? Like he got me on one that was called like Cappuccino or something. You like
Never
make
heard
little
of it.
podcasts with each other and it's like you give each other questions to answer. Yeah, that one was really fun. I used it for a day and a half. But then everyone was on BeReal, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's so fun! It takes pictures on both of your cameras at the same time just to show what you're doing." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll try it." Downloaded it, didn't friend anyone for like the first month I had it, and then all of a sudden I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna use this stuff." And then everyone was on it. Like my younger brother was on it.
Did you have the similar experience to me where you have Tate and you have Emily? And you're just posting on this app for them to see for like a month and no one else?
No, I did not. You were posting for the two of us?
Basically, I got Caleb added too, but like no one had me added. And I didn't care enough to use the app, but the prompt would come up and I'd post. And then hella people just added me abruptly. And now the app is like popping and like.
I have noticed with this app that people are much more willing to go through like their recommended friends and just add people on there, because that's not something I've ever done. Like, it's on Snapchat and on like Instagram now, where it'll recommend like, oh, people you might know. And I'm like, hell no. Unless I know them very well, I'm not going to add someone through there. But on BeReal, I've been added by people that I go to the same school as, but have had 2 conversations with. And I'm like, why the hell do you want to see my like greasy ass face on BeReal every day at 7 a.m?
Oh my God. All right, Caleb, how did you end up on BeReal?
I can't remember how.
Really?
To be honest with you, here let me see who my first friend was.
Your first friend.
Does it do that, or does it go in order of?
I don't think so. I don't know though. I was gonna. Did you have one of those like experiences that I talked about, where like you're posting and no one sees it but like one other person?
Yeah, it was literally like, it was. Sorry, I'm taking a peek. It was just you, Tate, and like one of my old coworkers.
And then suddenly a million people have you added?
Yes, now I have 36 friends. I didn't even realize I had that many.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I guess to jump into like what I think about the app, it's so fucking weird using it. Like I way prefer to post on like Snapchat, but like I feel like that's the app I just grew up with, Like that's was really popular when I was in high school. Cause you get one image, it's at a random fucking time, and then it shows how many times you do retakes and how many times like
it shows retakes. Holy shit! That's not good.
And it shows who screenshots it.
How did you not know that?
I don't know.
So
you just share your BeReal if you want to see who screenshot it, though. It's dumb as hell.
Yeah, but still, to me, it's so weird. Like, I don't know. Like, if I click on where's Tate's? Oh my god, too many people. I gotta scroll through here.
Did I even take one today?
I feel like you did. There it is, with the red hat on.
The red hat. I'm wearing that right now.
You did a one take, so you did it first try, and yeah. I feel like because it shows how many times you do a retake, you're obligated to just raw dog it. Just send whatever that first piece of shit you take is and commit to it.
I've got another. I enjoy this app because I think it's a fun idea, but I will say that most of the people that I'm friends with will post like 4 hours late, and I'm like, that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think the gimmick is kind of neat, but then yeah, like the fact that you get to post like 4 hours later, like maybe like an hour window would be appropriate, because like
yeah, because I mean, sometimes it'll give you like your phone will buzz and you're in the bathroom and you're like, there's no way I'm about to take a fucking picture of me taking a shit right now.
Why not? Why the fuck not?
Because got a full send.
Did you see? Did you see my BeReal today?
Wasn't it just you outdoors?
Yeah, it was. I was pretending like it was me taking a shit.
Oh my god!
It was just me in my. Most of me are me in my yard, because I like usually. I either post hella late, which I'm part of the problem here, I'll admit, or if I actually catch it on time, it's usually because I'm either outside like reading or listening to music. And now that it's been like nice out, I try and spend a little bit of time outside. And yeah.
You know what I will say? You've always got people reacting to your BeReals. I just noticed that I had some, but I have a lot of friends that don't react, and you've got like a good crew of like 5 people that will commonly send little photos, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I've got the same like 6 people. The same 6 people always will give me like a reaction, and I think it's so funny because I'll always react to theirs too. So I think it's like a mutual thing, like liking Instagram posts back in the day, where it's like, okay, I like yours, you like mine, we're cool. type of shit. I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I think the app's fine. I kind of see some funny stuff on it that I like appreciate, and when it's all like everyone posts when the
I
window
think it is
is.
the funniest thing that it's like so common for people to just open their mouth and that's what they're doing in their photo. Because I
Mhm.
do that so they just like unhinge their jaw a little bit, and people are like, "Yeah, that's going up."
That's the post.
That's
That
kind of what I do as well. Honestly, I don't know why.
I
It just
think
feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually just try and get like me kind of like smiling or making a weird face, and then like some subject like my espresso machine or like the yard or like whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
get sweaty as hell for these BeReals. I don't know if that happens at your Dutch Bro stand, Caleb, but at JC Dutch, they go hard. They're like getting some crazy ass shit, get everybody in it, get everybody in both sides, and you're like, I don't know, it's fucking musical chairs.
It's funny as hell.
Feels like a bit much for something that's going to be gone within 24 hours.
They don't do that at your stand?
No, ain't nobody care.
Okay.
You know, I actually I have a transit, but something else to talk about.
Okay.
I was gonna bring it up earlier, but the Be Real banter was too good. You guys were talking about how, at first it was just like us three. And I was thinking about I've been doing a little bit of Twitch streaming recently, and I've gotten like, I'll have like the common 3 viewers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while it's just like yourself there playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you try to keep some banter going, but when there's no one typing in the chat except like Annie was there the other day watching me, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah?
all right. And that kept some conversation. I gave some anecdotes and all that. But
Mhm.
so often it's like me and one or two people that are probably bots. But I'm like, I'm gonna try to keep some conversation. But then it's like I'm talking about fucking my toast or something, and I'm like, I need something. I need some sort of like conversation, because I'll like play like multiplayer games, and you can just chat with your buddy or whatever. But if you're
Mhm.
just on your own in the wild, it's just every person for themselves. It's like, what the hell can I talk about in this moment?
That's what Scom did for like 2 months, and he got like 30 subscribers,
That's
actually.
nice.
He was playing Fallout New Vegas. So like the secret, I feel like, is streaming like a game, like a small community, and doing something that like the other people aren't doing in that community. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
because I think there's like, the two ways to go about it. You either find your own small community, or you just stream whatever's big.
yeah. And I feel like streaming whenever's big, like it's probably has a higher ceiling for getting like viewers, but like a much like lower floor, which is that you're at the bottom of the like
Yeah.
the fucking tank, you know?
No, yeah, because I noticed that I'll play my little Binding of Isaac runs, and I'll have like two people hop in, and that's like whatever, and then I'll play multiverses and have like a handful of people, but then they all just leave, and I'm like, yeah, I'd leave too. Fucking go watch someone who's got a 30, like a big budget.
Hey, you need to start doing something crazy on your streams.
Start doing some
That'll really
crazy.
draw people in. Wait, what do you know about those hot tub streamers?
Oh my god, no! You know what? Respect is, they deserve all the respect. They're getting their bag.
They get in the
Oh my
bag.
God.
Yeah, they're playing the system,
I'm
but
just
they're getting
saying,
the
Tate, you
bag.
might need to get in on that.
Just wear
Get in a hot
sweatpants.
tub in my Salt Lake City apartment.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I wanted
invest.
I did want to ask you about how is being back in Salt Lake City versus
It's
Oregon.
weird. It is weird.
Why is it weird?
Well, I moved into a new place, and right now it's just James and me, my roommate, for if anyone's listening to this podcast. And it's been fine. He had a show, so he was out a lot. But it's a much bigger space because it's meant for 4 people. So there's a lot of like empty area, which is weird right now.
Or is there more people coming?
Yeah, we'll have 2 more people pretty soon here.
My God, you really going for the four people house?
Yeah, I went for the 4-bedroom because it made my rent cheaper, and I needed that. But yeah, again, the last place kind of just sucked ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's empty right now, which is not so fun. But we try our best. But it's been weird being back because I had a lot to do when I was home. I was working the job, I was in the show also, so I didn't really have free time. But now that's like all I have, and I'm kind of losing my mind.
Jesus, I've had the complete opposite experience. I have been working like Kayla, I think you missed out on this. I've been working the last 16 days consecutively, Today is my only day off. I'm gonna work one of my jobs tomorrow, two of my jobs the next day. I am just fucking slaving away. But I recently picked up a new job, doing behavioral health at a facility, and as well as working at Dutch Bros, and then I'll be a student during like fall term. So like I am like absolutely like grinding. Actually, Jake called me today and he's like, "Hey, will you come in?" And I was like, "Jake, I need today off. Like I'm got some stuff planned with Caleb and Tate, so like I need to take it off." But I was telling one of my coworkers that after taxes, I ended up making like $1,800 for just the last 2 weeks, and I was feeling pretty fucking good about that because I was like, basically one term of tuition paid for right there at UO, you know? So if I do another 2 weeks of that, hey, there we go. I got 2 terms of tuition paid for. So
That's nice.
kind of
That's
living
kind of
large,
nice.
but I could go for some free time right about now. I'm so tired. I am so goddamn tired. I had the worst day. I went into Dutch Bros the other day and I was like so mean to one of my coworkers. Like immediately, right off the rip, I was just like being sassy as fuck. Like she told me I need to put the packet in the machine or whatever, and I was like, my attitude was terrible. I apologized to her later because I was like, okay, like I'm sorry, I shouldn't act like that. But
We love a good apology.
I was burned out. I am feeling a little burnt out right now.
Yeah, that's how I was
Damion,
feeling.
quit.
Honestly,
ASAP.
I was considering it. I actually went and talked to Jake recently, and I was like, hey, so I'm feeling really burnt out. I've been working so much, and he's like, he's gonna try and work with me a little better on like giving me one day a week where neither of my jobs schedule me for it. I just need to figure out what day that's going to be because I need it to align with my upcoming school schedule for the fall.
And that the thing is, it's hard to work with one job schedule around a school schedule. So I don't even know how you're going to do that.
So fortunately, at the facility, I'm only going to work Saturdays and Sundays at the same time, same days, every single week. It'll never change.
That's nice.
So if Jake is like, hey, like I'll work with you to get you one day off a week, every week, then I'll just say like, oh, if it turns out Friday's the day, then I will work my other job Saturday, Sunday, and then Dutch Bros Monday through Thursday, right? As well as be a student. So we'll fucking see what happens.
Hell yeah.
But
Oh my God,
Caleb,
Damion.
hit me. What's going on in your life right now? What's going on?
What's been going on?
Are you
Shoot,
busy? Are you free time? Like what's it looking
I
like?
was sick, not last week, but the week before. From like Wednesday until like Monday. Holy
Damn.
shit, that was terrible. But we're chilling now. We're chilling now. So I don't know. I was just kind of vibing. In terms of like this past week though, like nothing crazy. You know, I went camping on Saturday, but you know,
Hell yeah.
so
Nice.
I don't know. I guess that was nice, but shoot, I don't know.
I mean, extend the
Nothing
timeline
good.
a little bit. What's the last month been like? Last 2 months? Like you're a manager now, so the big honcho.
Yeah, just I don't know. Just been trying to figure that out, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going well so far. Fortunately, I'm like pretty overstaffed, which makes it easy to find covers and stuff, so I don't have to work a shit ton. But
Oh, okay. I don't think
know.
Jake's had that experience. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
He's hired a bunch of people, but like, it's definitely been tough at JC Dutch Bros. What?
That's why you got to get out of there.
It's true. There we go.
Shoot.
Put in my notice.
Well, boys, we've just crossed the hour 3-minute mark.
Yeah,
How
I was
long
gonna.
are we,
I was gonna ask actually right now if anybody had anything else they wanted to bring up because
you know,
at
I mean,
about
I feel
7:15, I gotta go.
yeah, no, I think we've done a good amount here. You know, we've talked some good talk.
Talk the good talk. Caleb, anything you want to say? Or
You know,
topics
I'm
you want to
good.
hit?
I'm chilling. No, I'm chilling. I
Oh, yeah.
think we covered some good stuff.
We did some good work.
All right.